This is room part 2, room of your own part 2. Today we're going to be adding the shapes to our spaces. So the first thing you have to decide is what types of shapes are you going to make. Are they going to be rounded or angular or a combination of the both? I've gone with rounded shapes. So the first thing you have to do is figure out what color is your main color. So that main color is that color that you thought of. And then the second colors, or the other colors, are the colors that would complement that. So for the example here, I chose blue, and then I went with its neighbor green, and then in order to give it a little pop, I chose the pink paper, which I'll have be the thinnest part. So the first thing I want to do is either draw or just freehand cut the shape. So I'm going to draw a soft shape. So I drew an oval type shape. Now I'm going to cut it out. One thing you might want to do is just rough cut first before you start cutting, then you don't have that whole big sheet of paper. And then I can hold it up and really see and make sure I'm cutting on the line that I drew. Once I get this cut out, I'm going to put it on top of my other colors and trace it. Or you could, actually let's do this, glue it down. So I'm going to glue it down and leave a border around it. So I don't want to use a lot of glue. Just a quick line. I want to get close to the edge, but not right on the edge because it'll squirt out then. And I'm going to set it down so that there's green all the way around. And then I'm going to cut it out with a green outline. So the shape's going to get a little bigger every time I add another color. So now I have the green and the blue, and they're about the same shape, just the green is bigger than the blue. For the last part, I don't want that color to really stand out. I want it to just give it a little pop. So I'm going to make that edge a little thinner than I did with the green. So the green was pretty thick. I'm going to go real skinny on that, as skinny as I can, but I still want it to show. So it's like a little sliver of color to really make that stand out. You can also change the shapes as they get bigger. I'll do that with the next sample. I want to rough cut that quick. So I just roughed it out. It was getting to be too much in my way when I was cutting. Oops, my glue's so wet it's sliding. A little thinner even. Slide that a little. There. So the pink's just there to give it a pop. So let's take a look at that on a darker color. We'll just put it on the green again. So it's going to look a little bit like that, except my background was black. So it's always best to have a neutral background. Otherwise, the colors interfere with each other too much. Alright, so that's just a nice soft rounded shape. That's basically an oval. Now let's say I want to change my shapes. So let me start out with a kind of a soft shape. There. So there's my shape. I'll glue it to the top of the green. So use the same technique. But now when I cut the green out, I want to make the green a different shape. Let me rough it out quick. There. So I'm going to make a wavy line on the green. Now I'll add my pink, and I'll do something altogether different, maybe. Let's see what it looks like. Cut that out. So this one was really soft. This one's getting bumpier. I think for the pink, I'm going to get super narrow, tall, bumpy lines going here. You don't have to line up with the ones you already made, although mine are starting to. So see how that's going? Maybe it just gets me in I'm in that type of rhythm. There we go, I'm off a little bit now. So I really wasn't trying to be on with the exact same. Little baby one there. All right, it's kind of a splash, or a splat, that's what it makes me think of. So, this one, I'm just echoing the shape. This one, it's kind of echoing the shape, but it's getting more exaggerated the further out it goes. These would both be good soft elements for my room. We're going to use these to cover the walls and the floor, as well as other pieces that you might want to add. I put in a few, let me grab mine quick. So I had these two pieces coming down. I have this piece going down to the floor. So there's my wall, that's actually the floor there. And I still have these two walls to go. Now I'm not going to use these with mine because they're different colors, but I could do one over here on the wall. You can bend them in half, or wherever, I guess, and you could have it going partially on the wall and partially onto the next wall, so it goes around the corner. Doesn't have to be flat on the wall. Now, you might also want to think about how you're balancing this too. Mine's very symmetrical. It doesn't have to be symmetrical, but I find things that are symmetrical to be more calming and relaxing. So I'm going to stay symmetrical. Maybe to you it doesn't really matter. This is all about figuring out what works best for you as far as making you feel calm and relaxed and peaceful. All right, that's it. I haven't decided if we're going to add a ceiling. We might. We'll see how this goes. This is a brand new assignment, and we're just kind of taking it one day at a time, see how it works for everybody, and if it seems to be going well, we'll just keep adding more features to it. Maybe we'll even add a mini mobile to the ceiling. I haven't decided yet. We have to wait and see.